Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. And today, another amazing day. And my amazing friend and guest, Lisa Marree, is with me again today. Going to be a good one. Make sure and share this out. Tag your friends. Here we go. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, Suzanne Bodlovic and State Farm Insurance, Extreme Graphics, Michelle Martin and Farmers Insurance, and Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer. For more information on Suzanne Bodlovic and her insurance services with State Farm, go to insurewithsuzanne.com. And for more information on Extreme Graphics and their graphic services in Albany, Oregon, go to extremegraphics.com. And for more information on Michelle Martin and Farmers, call 541-981-2616. And finally, for Showing Up Perspectives on Cancer and how they support those going through cancer and their families, go to perspectivesoncancer.com. Music by Connor Hedge and Protestant, used with permission. Hey, welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, and another amazing episode and another start to an amazing week. So glad that you're here with us today. I just love to do this every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on your favorite platform. It could be LinkedIn, it could be YouTube, it could be Facebook, but whatever it is, so glad you're here today. You know, not only do we go live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, but it sits on the platforms after we're done. So if you miss it, you can go back and listen on YouTube and LinkedIn forever and on Facebook for 30 days. So you've got forever to go back and watch this. Share this with your friends, rewatch. You can network with people in the comments, connect with me, my guests. Oh my goodness, so many great opportunities. But guess what? There's more. If you miss it and you can't watch it, then you can listen on your favorite podcast platform, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon. There's so many great ones. All of the major iHeartRadio, Pandora, it goes on and on and on. So we'd sure love for you to like, share, and comment wherever you enjoy watching or listening, because you know what it means so much to us to have you as part of this community. Also, it helps connect you with other people. And it's just a great place to build community. And so that is so great. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. You know, every Monday and Thursday, we have the most amazing guests. And Lisa Marree is a returning guest. In fact, we have her on a regular basis because Lisa Marree and I have such amazing chats and so much great information, and just continuing to share that out on different, just way apart in this world. She is in Australia and I'm here in the United States, but we love it, have great conversations. So glad that you're here. It's going to be awesome. So What is Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, all about? Well, we're all about how amazing people connect. That's right. And you know what? We have the most amazing people like Lisa Marree who come on and share their value with you. And that is what I love to do. I love to be a positive voice out there, a positive voice in the wilderness. Hello, hello, and bring other positive voices along with me because you know what? We need more of that today, don't we? We need more positive people, positive voices, lifting each other up instead of tearing each other down. There's too much of that going on in the world. And we are here to lift you up today, to let you know that with a good perspective and a good mindset, you can accomplish amazing things. And of course, all about connection. I love to connect. And you can connect with me at russhedge.com. That's right. Russhedge.com is the place to go to connect with me today. And I would love to, whatever works for you, you can connect with me on any social media platforms, or you can go to my email, my phone number, or you can schedule time directly on my calendar to Zoom with me. And I would love to chat with you. If we haven't had a chance to chat, or if we already have had a chance to chat, love to have you still connect with me and we can have another chat. So thankful for this amazing community, so many amazing people, and so thankful for you today for being here. Also, if you would subscribe to our YouTube page, I told you before that this broadcasts live on YouTube and sits on YouTube. But if you subscribe today, let me tell the benefits for that. First of all, YouTube, we've got an amazing community building on YouTube, and all of it is right there together, simple and easy for you to get to. All of the thousands of people that we've interviewed, that we've had great conversations with, including Lisa Marree several times. And so it's so great place to find everything in one spot. So would love it if you would subscribe. And super easy, I make it simple. Marketingwithruss.live. If you know the name of the show, you can go to marketingwithruss.live and you get all of the great information on YouTube. So thank you for that. So like I had said before, simple, right? My website, russhedge.com, and YouTube, marketingwithruss.live. If you know my name and the name of the show, you're in good shape. All right. Also, please share this out. Let people know, it's bright and early Monday. People need a reminder. So if you could share this out and remind them that we're on, that'd be so great. Just tag your friends, put the @ sign and their name, and it'll link to them and you can tag them today. So thank you for doing that because, I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people that needs the reminder, that needs to get rolling. So yes, thank you so much for that. Also, I just want to let you know that on russhedge.com, as I told you before, there it is, you can have access to all my books like Life Happens and Then You Choose. They're right there behind me. Or my original book, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, or the 4 anthologies that I wrote in between, or the new upcoming book that will be coming out soon from the Cancer Conquering Community. So there's so much opportunity to pick those books up or just learn more about me. So go to russhedge.com today. And the latest book, Life Happens and Then You Choose. Yes, we have hand signals. Life Happens and Then You Choose. I would love for you to pick that up because it's all about perspective. And you can have an amazing life if you keep a good perspective. It's really up to you. Don't let your circumstances determine your perspective and your experience in life. Let your perspective drive that experience and have a good one. Choose to have a good one. So be intentional about that. All right. Then also every Monday and Thursday, we're almost done. And then Lisa Marree's coming in. We have our marketing tip of the day. Now this will get cut out, put out separately on YouTube Shorts, social media, all of that, so that you can actually watch it again or just share it with your friends. It'll just be the short little, less than a minute we do for the marketing tip of the day. Just something really to get you moving. You could tell by the theme of this show, I'm a huge believer that connection and community building is the foundation for any good marketing plan, any good life. So that's kind of my theme of this today. So are you ready? All right. Here we go. This is your marketing tip of the day. Your foundation is vital. That's right. Your foundation is vital. I'm telling you, that you need to build your life on a strong foundation. Now, I'm a strong man of God and believe that God is truly my foundation. But in business, really, connection and community building is the foundation for everything I do. So whatever you build things on has got to be a strong, firm foundation. And when you build it on people, on connection and community building, the way that you grow and you build, and amazing things happen when you have a strong foundation, when you've got a wonderful community to build from. And I'm so thankful today for God, number one, but for the amazing community that I have, all of you out there, my family and friends, just amazing people that are able to do life with me. Not always business, but always able to do life. Sometimes help each other, collaborate with each other, sometimes do business. But when you build that strong foundation on connection and community building, amazing things happen. So today, remember, your foundation is vital, and that is your marketing tip of the day. All right, there you go. We're going to get Lisa Marree in and get the show rolling. She is ready. Hello, Lisa.
Hello.
Hello from Tomorrowland.
Yes. Hello, hello, hello. And while you're having winter up there, we're having beautiful summer down here. Very, very hot days, actually. We're getting up to, well, I don't know the conversion, so about 35 degrees Celsius, and very humid because we're in the top end of Australia.
Wow. Well, I tell you, it is amazing that we're flipped as far as seasons. But, it's interesting because in the Willamette Valley where I live in Oregon, people joke about rain all the time. It doesn't really rain all the time, but we get a lot of rain. But it's actually been pretty mild. I mean, it hasn't really been that down in the East Coast, and then down in the South. They've had tons of snow and really severe winter weather, and we've just been kind of skating along here in Oregon, at least in where I live. So, anyway, we'll have to visit there someday in the bright sunshine in the winter. That would be great.
Yes.
But Lisa, for those people that don't know you, give a quick rundown. Who in the world is Lisa? What are you up to?
Okay. Well, I've worn many hats in my 50-something years. I have a background in medical science, and through looking for my own health solutions, and there's a big helicopter flying past. I hope the sound's not coming in.
I don't hear
I'm
it
near
at
an
all.
airport, and every now and then they do some military maneuvers. So we have F-111s flying over and the building shaking. And anyway, that's another story. Yes, so just to try and find my own health solutions, I went into holistic wellness, and that landed me in a place of really working on self-leadership, which then moved into helping lead others in their health and their life. But my specialty, what I love to do, is working with women going through the perimenopause to menopause and post-menopause transition to really help them take control of their body and their mind, because it's a brand new world once the hormones have left the building. So we need to have a different style of health and lifestyle toolkit, and that's where my specialty lies. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for healthy aging, which is very important for everybody, right?
Oh my goodness, healthy aging is so important. In fact, I would just there's a long story about Dick Van Dyke. Do you remember who Dick Van Dyke is?
Yes. Didn't he recently pass?
He just turned 100. He's alive and well.
Oh, that's
And
right. Yes.
yes, and so he was saying actually that his secret is he keeps moving, and still at age 100 he goes to the gym 3 times a week. He still he still can touch his toes, and he still actually entertains at 100. And it's amazing because it wasn't too many years ago, kind of the short story. We some friends and I were in New York, and I don't know if you've ever heard of Carnegie Deli in New York. not there anymore, but it's right across from Carnegie Hall. I'm sure you've heard of Carnegie
Yes,
Hall.
I have.
It's very famous. So Carnegie Deli was there for years, and a lot of stars would hang out at Carnegie Deli. And so one year, my family and I were there, and we saw Mr. T. I don't know if you remember Mr. T,
Yes.
but we saw Mr. T, and we were talking with him, and it was great. The following, or a few years later, I was there with some friends, and my one buddy, Paul, really wanted to meet a star, but we got disconnected. And so he was in Times Square, and I was with a couple of the ladies in Carnegie Deli. And I told him on the phone, he called me and I said, buddy, man, you better get here quick. And he goes, what? And I go, because you're going to miss him. And he goes, who? And I look up on the wall, and there's a picture of Dick Van Dyke along with a million other pictures. And I said, Dick Van Dyke. I just grabbed it out of the air. And he goes, Dick Van Dyke. And one of the ladies across from me looks at me and she mouths, is he still alive? And this is like 20 years ago, right? So she's going, and I said, I have no idea. So anyway, it was funny. He got there, and Dick Van Dyke was not there, and we were laughing hysterically. We were laughing so hard we were crying. We couldn't believe it. So it's a long story that's lived on, and we all talk about this all the time. But Dick Van Dyke is just an amazing example of healthy aging, the way he's taking care of himself.
Yeah.
And so it makes me think of that when you talk about healthy aging, because I don't care what you're in. The important thing in life is for you to have good routines and take care of yourself and do a little exercise.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's obviously more and more research going into movement benefits for the 40s, the 50s, your 60s, your 70s, your 80s and beyond, which is fantastic. But what the most important thing, because I say movement is medicine, and our muscles are actually longevity. And of course, we lose our muscle mass at an alarming rate, really starting from the age of 40 onwards, both men and women. And that actually has catastrophic downfalls of so many different hormone systems in our body, also our balance, our ability to do daily functional things, carry the groceries, open jars, all of these things that we take for granted when we have some youth on our side. But I've actually forgotten where I was going with that, but so
movement and health, I'm thinking.
Yeah, movement is medicine. Now, I have completely forgotten my point on that, but that's okay. This is live TV, so we'll go with that. And
I just love that whole point, though. Yeah, that's all. The whole point is great, though. Movement is medicine, and people don't realize it doesn't take a lot. In fact, sometimes, they talk about just walking around the block, just taking a short walk and it's amazing. So I'm a diabetic, and so when I exercise, my blood sugar tends to drop. I see the amazing results from walking because it doesn't take heavy exercise. I go out and I walk a 3/4 mile loop one time, and my blood sugar just goes push. And that's walking, not super fast. It's not like huge speed walking. So that just shows a little bit of movement that makes a big impact on your body.
Can I tell you the science behind that, Russ? Because I know that they've done research on that. And in our calf muscle, it's the soleus muscle. And it is one of the very unique muscles that doesn't require insulin to take glucose into the bloodstream. What it does, it actually basically absorbs glucose quite happily all by itself. And that is one of the things that I openly say on my socials. I don't, gatekeep or important things, that if we go for a 10-minute walk after a meal, just it can even be a stroll, it doesn't matter. That effect pulls the glucose out of the bloodstream, so we don't get the blood sugar spike, the insulin response, all of those things. So perfect for diabetics. After each meal, go for a little stroll. And also, if you're at if you do a lot of work at your desk, even just sitting there, calf raising while you're sitting here, that action alone is keeping your insulin sensitivity high, meaning your insulin resistance low, and keeping the blood sugar out of your system.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Well, it has really always amazed me, but that again just shows what an impact a little bit of something, a little bit of movement can make. And sometimes people think, man, if I can't go out and jog 2 miles, or if I can't do a whole bunch of reps with the weights or whatever, it's not worth working out. That is not true. In fact, just a little bit of walking every day of your life will really, really do a lot to keep you healthy.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to do those 10,000 steps. I mean, there's a lot of social influencers that say, they've got the buffed body and say, walking 10,000 steps a day got me like this. Well, that's a load of BS, actually. they do a lot more than that to have a six pack.
Yes.
But, if you just set that, because that 10-minute walk is literally 1,000 steps. Because I've done that on purpose to measure it so I can share that. I say, if you don't do any walking, just start with 1,000 steps. Set your clock for 5 minutes that way, turn around and come back. It's a 10-minute walk. You're going to get your first 1,000 in, and build it up to 3,000. If you can do 5, in little bits and pieces of the day, 10-minute walk after each meal, that's 3,000 steps for your day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very powerful.
Well, it is. And, this is what's so great about you, Lisa, is you've got these powerful words of wisdom because you're so wise in these areas. And I'm learning things that I didn't know. So there you go. Now I know all about my calves. I'm already doing calf ups as we're talking, but then I thought, wait a sec, my blood sugar was low, so I probably shouldn't do that.
But, not right now, Russ.
Not right now. Well, I was thinking about you the other day because somebody was borrowing my favorite quote from Jim Rohn. And, this is one thing that's been amazing. And you've learned a lot in all that you've done from the inspiration of Jim Rohn and all that he was such an amazing man. We don't talk a whole lot about him, but you were personally mentored by him for a while before he passed away. Tell us just a little bit about some of the real life impact that he made on you. I've just been wondering that, so I'm just going to bring that up today.
Oh, I mean, it really was philosophy that I had never been exposed to. Even though I was a child athlete and I had a champion mindset of believing that I was unlimited. I had many limitations, but it was really over and over again, some of the quotes: for things to change, you have to change; for things to get better, you have to get better. And it was really starting to force me to reflect on my personality, because I was very angry because of all the child abuse I had experienced. And I didn't even know that I was angry. So it's about, I think, bringing self-awareness to yourself. And back in the day, you listen to audio tapes.
Back in the day.
So I basically got as much of his audio library as possible. And I would just listen to things over and over and over and over again, until literally when I was speaking to people and they were talking to me, I found myself actually saying quotes of him, because it just such few words make such big impact. And, he gives it to his mentor, Mr. Earl Shelf. And then, of course, back around 2000, I started, I realized that Tony Robbins was a student of his. And so I started to listening to a lot of Tony stuff. And I thought, same message, very different messenger, very different style of message. But because you actually spoke about I had this book out, I thought, being the new year, and I think we're now in February, so I think people are already past all the hoo-ha of New Year's resolutions, and they've probably set some goals, and are they already back into their previous habits that really aren't helping support them to move forward? And then you said your beautiful marketing phrase of the day, and your foundation is vital. And I thought, that's so perfect for 12 pillars. If you haven't read it, it's actually a fable, but it's by Jim Rohn and Chris Widener. And I mean, it's so tiny, but very few words to give a very powerful, powerful story. And, you know, your foundation is vital, but there's the old cliche of your past doesn't define your future. So, I mean, if your life's a train wreck, if your health is a train wreck, start your new foundations today.
Exactly.
It's as simple as that. Because if you keep holding on to the past of the things that haven't worked out for you, you've stuffed up badly, you've maybe alienated a lot of people, you have the power to change that with just making a decision, and then surrounding yourself by people, things. If you don't mind me keep talking, I'd actually like to just read a few points off the back of the book to help people really understand the simplicity of this. Is the few lessons you'll discover in the 12 pillars. Live a life of three-dimensional health. I think that probably comes down to mind, body, spirit. The gift of relationships. You're always talking about connection, Russ. Achieving your goals and the proper use of time. We pretty well are time wasters these days because of this thing. You know, it's a black hole of useless time if you're scrolling. Surround yourself with the best people. You're the average of the 5. Become a lifelong learner. This is a big one because a lot of people complain that they don't have enough money, their job is not satisfying. Income seldom exceeds personal development. Communication brings the common ground of understanding. The world can always use one more great leader and leave a legacy. There's some of the points, but in chapter 1, the opening is called A Chance Encounter. It's the beginning of the fable. The only way things are going to change for you is when you change.
There you go. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, everything is, yeah, it's hard to say how much great wisdom came out of that man. And those 12 pillars are amazing. But you know what? This is why I think about these things. When I talked about the foundation and all of this, having something to base your life on, something that really goes, and I agree 100% what you just said a little while back. If things aren't going the way you want, or if there's bad things happening in your life, it's time for a new foundation that's trying to make a change. And change can be a super good thing. People are afraid of it, but change can be really good. And if things aren't going the right way, it's definitely time for a change. And that's such a good message today, because I think that, you know, people get caught up and get off track in life and really get messed up with some stuff. And it's time. I mean, you've lived that through your life with making changes in your life, right? And so that is, wow, such a timeless principle. That's amazing.
And I think you've had to set a few new foundations also since your health changed a few years ago. So you made those choices to make some changes, not just to your health practice, but to your lifestyle practice. And I'm sure many things in your life changed.
Sure. Well, it solidified a lot of my foundations that I already had, and really made me more thoughtful, you know, about my faith, about my health, about a lot of things that I do, things that I might have talked about but not done so well. And then I just, you know, it suddenly became vitally important, you know, in things. And so it really changes the way you look at it. It changes your perspective on what that is. And so, you know, changes don't always have to be a gigantic monumental thing. They can be small little step-by-step changes that can make a huge difference
Yes.
You really got to think about what you're basing them on and what is your foundation. I think that is so vital. And so, oh my
Yes.
goodness. Well, we get talking forever, and I just realized, you know what? The show's already over. So I tell you, we're going to have Lisa back on again, everybody. Never fear. But what I want you to do today is, through all of our conversation, just kind of wrap things up, put a bow on it, tell us what your gold nugget is of today's conversation, and then remind everybody how they get in touch with you.
I think it comes back to the question you asked me, was what was the sort of the most impacting thing from Jim, and that was self-awareness. And what you just said is that when you got the diagnosis, is that you had some strong foundations in place, but you then had to make a conscious decision to solidify those things and so forth. And so when you really have to, well, you don't have to, you can choose not to, but I think it's so important that when you start to connect to yourself and start to be very present, and this is what we spoke about before the show, is that life goes so quickly as an adult compared to a kid, is because we're not present anymore. We're not present in our moments of time. So just maybe my bow today is learn to take 5 minutes out of stillness, even if it's just focusing on inhale and exhale, something conscious about your body, just relaxing in a chair, inhale, exhale. That can actually have life-changing ripple effects, because it's going to do a whole lot of stuff in bringing chemistry down in your body. How can you find me? My name, Lisa Marree, MARREE.com, and I'm also on LinkedIn. I have a brand new app that I've built. It's called 40 Plus Fit Body Mind, especially for the women in my beautiful chapter of life. And it can be absolutely beautiful. And I teach people how to do that through nutrition, strength, stress management, all of those wonderful, wonderful things that we need as our part of our pillars of life.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. Well, I just encourage everybody to connect with Lisa. All of her information has been in the comments, the show notes. We got our LinkedIn address taken along the bottom. And I tell you, reach out today and, get value, learn about the app, especially you ladies. And, but she's got great wisdom for us guys too. She doesn't leave us out there. So anyway, Lisa, as always, it's been amazing. Thank you so much for being here, and look forward to the next time. Enjoy your summer.
Yes, thank you. Bye, everybody.
All right, we'll see you later. Hang tight.
Russ.
I'll be there. After I wrap up, I'll be out there, but have an amazing, amazing rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody. All right. Well, it's, again, such an amazing time and conversation. And you know what? Jim Rohn in his 12 Pillars is another book that I really want to encourage you to reach out and get. Such great wisdom from that man. And so, yeah, we always get so much value on the show, so many things going on. And I just appreciate people like Lisa that bring that every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And don't forget, it sits on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook after if you miss it, and Converse Audio Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all those things, on and on and on and on. Whatever your favorite podcast platform is, we're probably there. So thanks again for being here. And until next time, I'm just praying that you have a blessed and amazing week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.